Of course, our second honoree this evening is Stephen Franzke. Stephen was an integral part of AU's 1997 NCAA tournament run, leading the Eagles to the NCAA quarterfinals for just the second time in the program's history. To share a little bit more about Stephen tonight, we are pleased to have former head soccer coach Bob Jenkins with us here tonight. Bob was the head coach of the AU soccer program from 1992 to 1999. Bob is known as one of the top soccer trainers and player development coaches in the country. He works with AU Soccer and is also the Director of Coaching and Player Development for the Richmond Strikers. Help me welcome Bob Jenkins, please.
Thank you very much, David. Let me start Virginia. That was great. I enjoyed that. The story about going over the fence was. Those are funny stories, but they're the kind of stories that happen with great players and with great teams. So it was fun to hear that one. And I want to talk about Stephen a little bit in the same vein. First, I want to thank American University Athletic Department for keeping these things going. These are great events. It's great to see so many people here. Where's Jack? I want to just give a shout out to Jack. I didn't even know about this. The building's tremendous, but Jack was always a great supporter when I was coaching, and we didn't always have great years, but Jack was always there, so I appreciate that. And then I see a bunch of my former colleagues here. It's great to see everybody. All my old teammates, I wish. my old players. This is a great group of guys. We got a really big group here, and it's tremendous. And then, as a surprise, I got Jimmy Barlow here, who was my first assistant at AU when we had a lot of sandbags up trying to figure out what was going on. And Jimmy was an integral part of getting everything going. So it's great to see you, Jimmy. When I was listening to Steve talking about Virginia and some of the pieces that made her what she was as a player, I think when I talk about Stephen, he's a difficult guy. He said to me today, like, I think I scored 2 goals in 4 years. Like, how does this happen? But I think for me, and I've been coaching a long time in a lot of different levels and a lot of different ages, and I think that there are some pieces you can talk about. He was a captain for 3 years. Starting as a sophomore, he was a captain, and that wasn't me or Jimmy. That was the players choosing him. And I think I don't have the stats, but I think he started every game that he wasn't having to. I think he reminded me he had to sit a few out for some yellow cards. But other than that, he was on the field. And I'll tell you a quick story. There was, I don't know if it was 96 or 97, he took a really good knock to his ankle. I think he turned his ankle, and I don't think he was even able to put pressure on it. And we had a game against Old Dominion, and we were on a good run. And I knew that if he wasn't on the field, we were going to be in a little bit of trouble. Even if he was not at 100%, just having him out there as a personality was going to do a lot for us. So, and I want to say it was Scott Oliaro was our guy, right? Or Mike Sell. I'm not sure which one. But he taped that thing up like it was plaster cast. And Stephen went out there. We ended up winning, and things continued in a positive direction for us. But I think those pieces for me are the easiest to talk about. Stephen's not a guy that in a 2-minute conversation you can talk about all the reasons why he's here tonight. So the other part of it, not only what he brought to the team, but what he brought for me as a coach. That the ability to communicate is really important. And as a coach, that was really important. The other piece for me is that I knew that what Stephen wanted, what his goals were exactly what mine was. We wanted to win. We wanted to do everything we could to win. And so therefore, I knew that whatever I said to him, he would understand it. And whatever he said to me, I would understand where he was coming from. So plenty of times, he came into my office and talked to me about, listen, I think you're a little bit off on this, or, maybe not this. And I could take that information. I didn't always do it, but but I would take the information and consider it, because I knew where he was coming from. I knew he was not looking for an easy way out. He was looking for a way to make sure that the team was continuing to move in a positive direction. But without Stephen, it wouldn't have happened, because we had a lot of hard times before that, and that year was not easy. It didn't just happen out of nothing. It came out of a lot of hard work and a lot of determination and a lot of very focused that we were losing, but we were moving in the right direction. We believe in this, and we're going to go. So I thank you for that, Stephen. But I will say, so those two stories for me that sit in my mind at this point, and I think it's like 16 years ago. The first one was him with the Old Dominion game and saying, look, I don't care, I got to be out on the field. Me know it was important, he knew it was important. Didn't matter whether he was able to play to his fullest capacity. The other was a Rutgers game. You guys remember that game in like mid-October up at Rutgers. Rutgers at that time, very good. We go up there, they've got a great stadium, under the lights. We went up there, tremendous game, and one of the things that we worked a lot on was trying to get our guys to establish not only a nice rhythm of playing, but also that we would establish ourselves as a very tough team. And Stephen was we had a couple guys that could deliver some good tackles. But Stephen, specifically in that game, hit a guy on the sidelines, and they had these, if you look at like international games and pro games, they've got those placards all the way around. And he hit this guy so hard that he went into the advertisements, and it made such a noise, and and at that point I was like, game on. We are going to win this game. And that's the kind of thing that those moments are so critical moments for a team. And then everyone says, well, okay, we know what we're doing tonight, and we go forward. And that was especially 97, but there were many years that we weren't always winning, that Stephen was always working hard. So, Stephen, congratulations. It's a great honor for me to be able to be up here. My last thing, and then I'll go. My wife asked me the other day, hey, how are you doing on Stephen's speech? Taking any notes? And a couple of people had asked me, like, how was your preparation? And I said, look, from the moment he left AU, I was waiting for this day. There was no question that he was going to be a guy. And Jack and I talked in the process. This is a guy that, for me, was he has to be in the Hall of Fame for American, for the way that we talk about here at American trying to do things, and for that team in particular. So congratulations. Okay, and now it's my distinct pleasure to introduce and congratulate Stephen Franzke as the newest member of the American University Athletics Pop Cassell Hall of Fame.